That's the good stuff. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here today in Snoqualmie something. I always forget what the other part of that is. I'm going to look it up. Oh, I'm not actually in... Well, I guess I'm in Okanogan-Wenatchee. Why isn't it telling me what the other part is? Oh, that's a wilderness. I think. Yeah, that's Alpine Lakes Wilderness. Alright, well anyway. I'm out here in the National Forest. A few weekends ago, I mentioned I found a spot, explored more, and came back to it, and it was taken. This isn't that spot, but it's pretty close to it. Where I'm at this weekend is a lot of the places I go, there are dispersed camping sites like all over the place, but it doesn't show like on the map like campsite here, or it's not advertised as dispersed camping, whereas where I'm at today is a dispersed camping area. And the last time I was up in this area, it got busy like towards the end of the day, but there were still a lot of other sites available. It was just, I wanted to explore more, so I kept searching. But today, this was like one of the last spots available. And I decided to come up here to camp because I wanted an easy spot to get to, because tomorrow I'm going to do a backpacking trip. Just a quick overnighter, but it'll be nice to do. Get out, do something a little different, see how the old legs are doing on the hiking. Yeah, it'll be nice just to see kind of more of the actual backcountry instead of just the drive-in spots. But to be fair, some of the drive-in spots you really can't get to. Well, I mean, you can get to their drive-in, but I mean, it's not all like this. I'm fairly close to civilization here. Some of the spots you're in the middle of nowhere. But anyway. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to camp here tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to get up. I'm not going to worry about getting out super early. I'm not going to do like big miles or anything, but I do want to get hiking, sooner than later. So I'm going to get up, pack up camp, eat a quick breakfast, and head. I do have a specific trail in mind, but I'm going to look around on the map and see what else there is, because there's so much. So yeah, so I'm going to finish eating my lunch. There's a river not that far down the trail. I'm going to go check that out in a little bit, and we'll get back to you when that happens. Hey guys, finished up my lunch and cleaned up camp a little bit. Wasn't that much to pick up, but since I'm walking away from camp and I'm not sure, I'm not gonna be gone for like a long time, but I don't want squirrels and shit getting into my bag and food and stuff, so brought everything to the car. Now I'm heading down to see the river. And I thought this was a trail, but it doesn't really seem like it's much of a trail. There's a little bit of a trail, but yeah. Holy crap. Got my water bottles and my pots, or pot, to fill up and clean when I get down there. And that's about it. Kind of walking into some trees and stuff over here, so I think I'm going to focus on actually walking. Alright, so there's two tent sites here. They're both really nice and flat. I'm going to try and use this one and see if my tent fits. It should. I feel like I've set it up in smaller spots than this. But we'll see how it goes. But if not, that one is actually, it's flatter and bigger, so really it's probably a better spot. But for whatever reason, I kind of feel like I like this one better. I think it's just because maybe I'll have a straight view of the fire. Oh crap. So I got my Z-Packs duplex, and that's probably gonna be what you guys see me use for the rest of the season. I think we're in the bug season at this point. Whenever I'm doing these type of trips, which is all of them so far, but anyway, whenever I'm doing these kind of trips, like car camping trips or just easy hiking trips, I always bring my tarp anyway, because sometimes I just like sleeping under a tarp, and it just kind of makes it feel a little more old school, kind of just a classic camp out type of thing. But when there's a shitload of mosquitoes, it also can kind of suck. So as long as there's a ton of mosquitoes, I'm pretty much in a tent for the rest of the season. And I'm started shopping a little bit. Oh yeah, money. Started shopping a little bit for a two-person tent, more for these type of trips. And I found, well, I didn't really find it. I saw, like, I've seen other people use them, nature hike tents. And it looks like you can get a halfway decent tent, two-person tent for, I don't know, 100. I think the most expensive one I saw was like 180 or something, which if you compare that to a big Agnes tent, I mean, they might as well be giving it to you. So I'm going to look into those. But yeah, so for now, this is what I'm going to be using. and this is probably what I'd be using anyway because I'm going to go backpacking tomorrow, but I would like to get a better two-person tent for this type of camping. So anyway, it does need trekking poles to set up. Trekking poles are in the car, so let's take 5. That is just about perfect. All right. I think that little bastard lives in this log right over here. Been chirping at me all day. Ugh. So we'll see how this sets up. This thing can be kind of finicky to set up. I got really good at it on the Appalachian Trail, but I had to adjust it a couple times last time. And in like a bowl like this, it's hard to get it perfect. But don't know till you try. So these trekking poles are the Z-Packs carbon trekking poles, and I really like them because they're light. And they originally came with this tent as like a promotional thing when I bought the tent, and I had to warranty them like halfway through the Appalachian Trail. And I told them, said, look, you don't even need to warranty them, like, because what happened was the tip broke, and I was like, you don't even need to warranty them, just sell me the bottom section and I'll buy it from you, because that's a wearing part. Like, that shouldn't, you know, I understand that's a wearing part, you know, it's gonna get ruined eventually. And they're like, oh yeah, we don't do that. So they warrantied them, and I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to buy a wicked goddamn expensive pair of trekking poles every time the bottom breaks. So I was like, yeah, I'm never buying yeah, I think I'm right next to that guy's home. Got sidetracked there. So I was like, I'm not going to buy a $100 pair of trekking poles every time the bottom of it breaks, so I guess I'm just not buying Z-Packs trekking poles again. And then, a few years later, Gossamer Gear came out with their trekking poles, and their whole selling point was you can buy each section individually. So I was like, alright, that's what I'm getting next time. And I was actually just talking to a friend the other day, and he asked me what trekking poles I used, and I said Z-Packs, but I'm not buying Z-Packs again because you can't buy sections. Said I'm going to buy the Gossamer Gear ones when I need to replace my trekking poles. Well, little did I know, those Gossamer Gear trekking poles must have scared Z-Packs, because you can buy the bottom sections of the Z-Packs poles now, and they're pretty cheap too. They're like 15 bucks each. So I am going to do that when these break. I was kind of excited to try the Gossamer Gear ones because I kind of like trying new gear, but I also kind of like not spending a shitload of money when you don't really have to. So anyway, that's my story about trekking poles. I would just show this tent once it's set up, but my mom said I need to talk more in these videos, so that's what I'm doing. Let me know in the comments below what you want me to talk about. And we'll see if I can make that happen. Yes, that's pretty much it. Like I said before, it could kind of be a little bit of a bitch to get it perfect, but it's pretty much set up. It's actually not terrible right now. It's just gotta tighten it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through, get this thing set up a little bit better, and we'll go from there. Got a pretty great dinner planned out for this evening. Took a long time to put together. You like that? Yeah, you like that. Nothing like a plain hot dog for dinner. I forgot any ketchup or any condiments, but that's alright. Where am I at here? Eat a couple of these babies and pretty much call it a night. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I brought my Kindle, so I'm gonna eat, hang out for a little bit, then just douse the fire, make sure it's out. And then crawl into bed and read for the rest of the evening. Oh, the fun we have. Morning, everybody. Got a fire going. Got some instant oatmeal for breakfast and a coffee. I wasn't gonna have a fire this morning, but I got up pretty early. I think it's like 8:15. Yeah, 20 after 8 right now. Got up at like 6:40, probably closer to 7, but I woke up the first time I checked the time, it was 6:40. Stayed pretty warm. I don't think it got too cold last night. It was supposed to get into the mid 40s at the top of the pass, and I'm a little down in elevation from there, but not by a lot. So it probably got into the 40s. I don't know if it got into the low 40s, but maybe the mid 40s. So yeah, slept pretty good, stayed warm. I wasn't gonna have a fire, but since I got up early, figured it would give me plenty of time to have a fire, and then just that's about it. I feel like I had a little bit of extra time, so I don't usually sleep in anymore these days, but I usually sleep later than 6:40 when I'm not getting up for work, so yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot more hanging out here. I don't have a wicked long hike, so I'm not like in a rush to get started or anything. But I don't want to wait till like afternoon either, so just gonna finish eating my breakfast, drink my coffee, probably make another cup of coffee after this, and then call it a morning and start packing up and heading on out of here. In case anyone's wondering, I friggin' hate instant oatmeal, but it's such a good camp food. Like, it's so easy, and it's light, and it's cheap. This one is actually not going down too bad, but I'm gonna have another one, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna feel like finishing it. Which is kind of weird because I eat oats, like oat bars and stuff all the time, so, but anyway. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. I got camp all cleaned up. I got a few more things to put in the bag. But other than that, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes, look at Gaia, and find out where I want to go. So if you want to find out where I want to go, check out the next episode. There'll be a part 2 to this coming up soon. Thanks for watching.